Hey, what's up everyone? It's your man DJ Roxy from Roxy Entertainment, Roxy Electronics and Repair, coming to you with another repair video. This was highly requested of me, doing a crossfader replacement. Now when it comes to the crossfader and the channel fader on this controller is a little hassle to get to, especially the crossfader that on other lines of the DDJ is so very simple to change the crossfader, but on this is more difficult. Now on the DDJ Sr2, I did a video on that. If you have a Pioneer DDJ Sr2, it's very simple to do the replacement on that particular controller. But on this one, is way more difficult. If you have a DDJ SZ, it's videos I'm showing you how to do that stuff also. So anyway, enough of the intro, because it's gonna be a process to get to this crossfader. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip the unit. Once you flip the unit, you're gonna see some screws to the bottom of this that have to be removed. Remove all your screws from the bottom part of the controller. Alright, so once you remove your bottom part, so on this controller you have to remove your main board to get to your crossfader. Now there's some people that try on bending this. Hope you can see that. Let me see if I could get it focused. On bending this crossfader to try to get access to, but in reality all you do is break the contacts. Now on this particular controller, the owner tried to do it on his own and he just messed up this whole controller. And now we have to replace the main board. Now I'm gonna take you on the process of doing that. This is the main board for this controller. This is your crossfader. Now this is what you want to get access to. This is your crossfader right here, and right here, if you can see that, you're gonna be desoldering on your controller these contacts right here. But on this process, like I said, the previous owner messed up these contacts right here, and he tried to solder these and also messed up all the contacts from the rest stuff. So it leaves us no choice than replacing the whole PCB board off of this controller, which is what I'm gonna do with this controller. But the same process is gonna be to if you want to replace your crossfader. All right, the first thing you want to do is start to remove some wires. Highly recommend that you watch, that you record yourself doing these kind of jobs, so you know where everything goes when it's time to put everything together. Now we're gonna be removing all these ribbon cables. Alright, so after you remove all your ribbon cable from the main board, you're gonna remove some screws that correspond to this main board. Now this main board and the output board lies together in one piece. They're a separate PCB board, but they lie in this particular thing. So you're gonna be removing the screws that correspond to this, which is this. There are some screws right here that also need to be removed. All these white looking screws, you're gonna remove them from the PCB board. Once you do that, you can pull this PCB board and it's free to be removed. And that's how you get your main PCB board out of your controller. Now once you get to this process, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and turn around and turn the controller around. Go ahead and remove all these caps in the channel caps, the channel faders, and the crossfader. Now to remove this, just remove this from here, this clip from here, and your fader is free to be removed. Remove this other clip from here. Be careful, do not break this or bend this clip, because this holds the channel fader. Also the same thing you're gonna do with this fader. In this particular situation, the owner replaced it with an aftermarket, so all you have to do is just, you know, this one, and just have to push this up. go ahead and remove all these from the center. You don't have to worry about these. This also will have to be removed. These leave these alone, because this do not remove from the top. These switches remove when you remove your center PCB board. All right, so once you do that, we gonna go ahead and proceed with the next process. Once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and flip the unit again and remove all these screws that correspond to this board. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Like I said, one thing that I recommend you do when you're doing any repairs is put all your screws separate from each other. Like that, you know where each screw go where. Now I do a lot of repairs, so like I'm used to know which screw go where. Especially with these DDJ controllers that we fix. A lot of these controllers come through the shop to fix. Once you do that, we're gonna find out what's holding it. Right here. We're gonna put this on the side. Got one more screw right here. And once you get this out of the way, we're gonna try to see what's holding it. Don't force it. Sometimes they have screws that maybe, like right here, we have another screw. Just make sure that all the screws are out before you try to push it up. As you can see right here, there's one more screw that holding this, and we're gonna go ahead and remove that screw. All right, so once we remove that, let's go ahead and remove this. I think this is the mic input control. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, put this on the side. Now we're gonna find out what's holding this. Right here too, this is holding it. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that from there. Not an easy task to remove this crossfader from this unit. Before I forget, so you're gonna be removing this, which is your headphone jacks and volume control from right here, so you can get access to moving this PCB board. So you're gonna go ahead and remove this also. Now once you remove that, the following, you have access to the main board. Once you came to this part, if you're just replacing your crossfader on this unit, you're gonna see some contacts. Definitely on your controller, these will be attached, but my client damaged this, so it leave me no choice than to change the whole PCB board. Now you're gonna be desoldering these contacts from here, but before you desolder those contacts, you want to flip the PCB board and remove these screws for this plate to be removed. And that's the process of changing that crossfader. Once you remove the crossfader, then you can go ahead and place your new crossfader and of course solder it. Be very gentle once again with these contacts that runs. Now this is where you want to go to. Of course this will be holding on like this. If you can see, it's going to be holding on like this, and this particular is broken from the customer that tried to do it on his own and broke it. But as you can see, the contacts will be right here. This is something you got to take your time, and you're going to be desoldering. Like I said, you're going to be desoldering these contacts right here that holds your crossfader. And you're also going to be removing these two screws. Hope you can see that. These two screws have to be removed so you can get this plate off that holds the crossfader. Once you do that, you could go ahead and desolder this old crossfader and solder the new crossfader. Now, in my particular situation, like I said, I'm going to be putting a brand new board, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So, but before I put the brand new board in, I got to get to this plate because the brand new board do not come with this plate. So as you can see, this plate right in the center, I have to replace this plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. In the meantime, let me just put this on the side. Now bear in mind, this what I'm doing right now is not part of changing the crossfader, but actually changing the center PCB board or the volume PCB board. I'm gonna leave the link where you can get the crossfader from, and also where you can order this PCB board and the parts number for the crossfader and the parts number for this PCB board. Just in case you did what my client did, try to change it and try to taking shortcut in messing up this PCB board. So we're gonna go ahead and alright, so the first thing he need to do to remove this plate is remove all these nuts and washers from this plate. So once we do that, once again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, it's a perfect time to hit a subscribe button for more interested videos on repair videos, beats, MPCs, drum machines, samplers, whatever you want to call them. Cater to a lot of DJ equipment and stuff like that. Also, I posted some videos on some customized turntables. You can take a peep and look at those videos. Once again, this is how you replace your PCB board slash how you replace your crossfader on this, because if you messed up your board, you're gonna be removing these small screws. This is for this board that's gonna go right on this. Now the beauty about changing the new PCB board is that it comes with the crossfader and it comes with the channel fader together as one. So your controller definitely gonna be like new when it comes to the mid-center controls. All of these are new and everything. One advice that I give people all the time: take your stuff to professional, because then it's gonna cost you more in the long run. And this is what happened to my client. I told him to bring the controller. He went ahead and do it on his own, which I don't mind if you do it on his own. But if you don't know what he's doing, definitely you should have brought it in, because he messed up the main PCB, the control PCB board, and then he ended up buying a whole board. You know, when it's gonna save him a lot of stress and a lot of money, because if you don't know how to replace these crossfaders on this controller, which is a pain in the ass, which I don't know why Pioneer decided to do it that way, because it's so, like I said, it's so simple to do it on other DDJ controllers. I don't know why it's so difficult just to get to that crossfader on this. I understand the channel fader is always difficult on all the controllers, but now this PCB, I will have to remove. Let me see if I can get this underneath. All right. ahead and put the screws on for that. Once you get the screws on, you're gonna go ahead and put all the washers and nuts. Could go ahead and put this on the side for now. I'm not going back to this, so I could focus on this part of the job. Put all the washers. And put all the nuts. I also have some videos on repairs on the Ddj 1000. If you're having any kind of problem with your 1000, I have videos on that, so you can go ahead and look at those videos. Now when it comes to this, you don't really need to like over tighten these. Just give it a little, you know, tight, but don't overdo it. Alright, so once we get to this part, we're gonna go ahead and place it into there's some ribbon cables that needs to put on. So we're gonna go ahead and put the ribbon cable in. Now this can go only one way. Gonna go ahead and put a ribbon cable. Obviously, appliance damaged this ribbon cable. As you can see, it looks like you burned the ribbon cable. Once you do that, we're gonna pass through the ribbon cable through here, and the other one also, which I'm not sure if is functional. But at this time, I don't have a replacement cable. All right, so once you get your ribbon cables in, one thing that you have to make sure is that you put these switches cap back in there. So once you come to this point, now our very next step is gonna be dropping this in. Do and not force it. And we're gonna go ahead and put some screws. So we start off with putting some screws on the crossfader. And also go ahead and put some screws just to hold the PCB board for now, because we're gonna double check that all the switches are intact before we go ahead and do and continue with all the putting together everything. So once you come to this point, you guys just want to make sure that all the switches are good. And now we can go ahead and continue putting in our stuff. Now we're gonna start off by putting this part. Now we're gonna start off by putting everything together. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. I recommend that you use a screwdriver to do this job. I'm using a drill because I'm experienced doing this job, but I highly recommend you use a screwdriver. Now these screws that go right here are a little smaller than the rest white screws, so bear in mind. And this is the process of just to change the crossfader in this unit. We're gonna go ahead and put this plastic protector cover. You're gonna line the screws in this right here. We have the screws that line up with it, and the screws that line up with this plastic cover. Kind of a plastic protector. I don't know how much it protects. Alcohol or any liquid fall in these controllers, you can say goodbye to it. Definitely, we're gonna go ahead and screw this stuff in. Very next step is make sure that you have all these right here. We're missing one. All you have to do is make sure that all your screws are in. And we can go ahead and put our main PCB board. Now this is the part where you want to put all these on the side. Make sure that they're out of the way. All your ribbon cables are out of the way, so you can go ahead and connect your ribbon cables. Right, so I'm gonna screw all the main board. once you reach to this part where you screw in all your cables, if I could turn this around for you just to make it more visible for you, you're gonna go ahead and install all these ribbon cables where they belong. Make sure that it in properly. Just gonna go in here, snaps in there. Get to that. Right. Just make sure that everything is in there properly. And this will go right in there. Now all you need to do now is just double check that everything is connected, and we're gonna go ahead and put cover back in. Now when you're doing this, putting the cover back in, the cover could only go one way in.